There is a reading quiz over every chapter in our book. Each quiz has 10 multiple choice questions that you complete directly in Blackboard, just like our exams. In fact, the questions that you will see on these reading quizzes come directly from the pools created for the exams. You might see the very same question on both a reading quiz and the exam including that chapter. Just like with the exams, you can use your book and notes to take these reading quizzes, and you can take these anywhere that you have an internet connection. Because these reading quizzes are intended to help you prepare for exams, the set of reading quizzes over chapters that will be covered on the next exam are all due at the same time. For example, if you're taking my general psychology class, this means that before exam 1 opens, you'll be required to complete quizzes for chapters 1, 2, and 3. For my lifespan class, you'll complete quizzes 1 through 5 before you take the first exam. Even though each set of reading quizzes share the same due date, that obviously doesn't mean that you can't complete these quizzes early at your own pace. If you wait until the last minute to take all 3 or 5 in my lifespan class, a few hours before the deadline, you may not be able to get them all finished. So please try to complete these quizzes ahead of time. Unlike the exams, there is no time limit on the reading quizzes. You don't have to complete a quiz all in one sitting, and you can take each quiz as many times as you want. Your highest grade will be the one that stays in the gradebook. Now, because other students might not have taken their quiz yet, after you submit yours, you won't be able to immediately see all of your answers and the correct answers until after the due date has passed for the quiz. I know that this might be frustrating. Obviously, everybody wants to get a 100, but if you don't know what you missed, you'll just have to make an educated guess and keep trying. Ideally, you'll be turning to your book so often that you'll learn the material even better. If you do want to retake a reading quiz, you access it the same way, by selecting the menu item for this assignment, Reading Quizzes, and then clicking on the name of the quiz you want to retake. After you select Begin, you'll see this screen asking you what you want to do. Click on Start New Submission to retake it. Right after the due date for the quiz has passed, which will be 12 a.m. on the day following the due date, you'll be able to access your quiz and see all of the correct answers. The due dates for the reading quizzes occur before the pertinent exam opens up, so you will be able to use these quizzes while taking your exam. To access all of the answers to these quizzes, after the due date for a quiz has passed, you can access it by clicking on each quiz on the Reading Quizzes page, and then select View All Attempts. Or you can also go to My Grades and click on the link to the reading quiz that you want. Click on the name of the quiz. If you've taken it multiple times, you'll see a list with grades you earned for each attempt. Click on one of these grades and then your full quiz will open up with all of your answers as well as the correct ones. You can refer to these quiz answers while taking your exams. Also, unlike the exams, if you realize you don't have time to complete the 10 questions on a quiz, you can get out, even logging out of Blackboard completely, and re-enter the quiz as often as you need to. If you answer a question, that answer will automatically be saved by Blackboard. Every selection you make is auto-saved, but you can also click on Save All Answers. The next time you get into the same reading quiz, after you click Begin, select Continue to pick right back up with everything you'd gotten done before. When you're done with a reading quiz, please remember to click Save and Submit. You have to submit before Blackboard will give you a grade. Even though you can use your book and notes to complete these quizzes, just like with our exams, these are individual assignments. You need to complete each quiz on your own without help from anybody else. You're cheating if you and a friend or classmate do these together. If you're taking this class as a hybrid course, meaning we meet in person for in-class lectures, very often I don't cover the content in class that you'll see covered on the reading quizzes. But you might see exam questions over this content, so very often questions on these reading quizzes are in fact the only way you will learn this particular information, which you might see later as exam questions. If you have additional questions, please let me know.